Asinbingelele Maswati Lamahle, good evening, good afternoon, good morning. Molly Jacob here, Free Swaziland Movement. Right, today is the 5th of November 2024, and it is election day in America. We've got Camilla and we've got Donald Trump. I'm not sure who's going to win. So you tell me who you think is going to win. I think Camilla's going to win. But someone will say, I know Monte. Yeah, Monte and I think Camilla's going to win. Which some psychics have said that Trump is going to win. Anyway, we'll see. So, yeah. Anyway, before I begin, I just want to say thank you to all those who traveled from Swaziland and made their way to the prayer event, the gathering of the Eswatini nation, Gamhlusha. And unfortunately, it was now hosted at Tonga. But I just want to say thank you for taking the time and spending your money to go and showcase and support all the leaders. It was not only about Swalimo, but thank you, Swalimo, for coming up with this prayer meeting for democratic changes in Swaziland. Well done, Swalimo, and well done to you. You need to clap for yourself for making your way to such an event after all the threats, to those who flew from different countries, especially those who flew from abroad. Comrade Monte, Comrade Gauzela, Comrade Neo. I saw you guys there. Well done. But right, what am I going to talk to you about today? Namhla, I want to talk about the way forward. I want to remind you, see Free Swaziland Movement. I want to remind you, Gutsi, Tina see Free Swaziland Movement. Molly Jacob na Bomonte and Bomandla and Susan Belter. What is it that we represent? We are advocating for the government of national unity. I think most of you who watched it, I think King Swati as well, King Swati, that you know that we want to form the government of national unity to remove you. Okay? We want to remove you because it's either and your family. Okay? You have abused Swazi. So we want to remove you. So we want to talk about the government of national unity. We think it's the way forward. And I'm not saying it's the only way forward. We have parties who have come up with other approaches. We think this is the way forward. The government of national unity is a non-violent strategy of removing the current regime that is abusing you. So what is the government of national unity? First of all, okay, secondly, before I forget, Comrade Eugene, thank you so much for giving us the time to talk about this. I know you gave me 5 minutes, but I'm not sure whether I'm going to run through this for 5 minutes. Please, my apologies. Thank you, Comrade Eugene, Swati News. So what is the government of national? We're going to look at the aims and how it's formed and its functions. So the definitions, I'm going to read on Guma notes so that I'm quick. So the government of national unity is defined in our contents, as you can hear, is a unifying political structure that includes all voices advocating for democracy in Swaziland. It is a governing structure in the real sense of the word, as you can hear, because it coordinates the liberation effort and establishes and maintains new democratic structures in the country. So how is it formed? The formation of the government of national unity is formed by a team of leaders from all democratic forces, only democratic forces, only, not Bomangololo. These forces need not be only political parties. They can also be pressure groups, special interest groups, and any other marginalized members of society in Swaziland, as long as they want a true democracy, it is therefore an inclusive body. It includes everybody, Dinyanga, Dangoma, Mazayoni, everybody, as long as it's an organization and they want a liberation for the Swazi people. So why supporters of the oppression and the regime are not included? Why Singekes Bafagwa Mangolo in the government of national unity? Normally, a GNU advocating for liberation of a country cannot include people who are opposed to liberation. A leadership structure of lions has never included hyenas. That only happens in a fairy tale, like the Lion King. So we're not going to include Bomangololo, okay? Because they don't want democracy. Even then, if they are included, that'll be a disaster. So we cannot include Bomangololo in the government of national unity, Eswatini. This GNU, the government of national unity, must only consist of people who are fighting for the same thing, people pulling in the same direction, which is towards a shared vision and a democratic Swaziland based on equality, justice, and economic prosperity for all. Okay, so that's why we're not including Labase Parliament, Mawigi Kumala, they'll not be included, except Lazwit. She's the only one in the parliament who will be included in the government of national unity. So you're going to look at PPA, you're going to look at MSF. Okay, PPA can be part of the government of national unity. It's an organization, the Christian society, anybody, whosoever, the pride community, the Laba Laba Tele with albino, those who are deaf, those who are all sorts of organizations who want liberation will be part of the government of national unity. Okay, you might ask the MSF. Right now we have an issue with the multi-stake forum, which was formed by the late human rights lawyer Tunane Masego, and now we have Stella Mgomedulu, who's now the leader of MSF. So MSF will not be part of the government of national unity. Why do I say that? Because MSF with Stella Mgomedulu has been linked in the kidnapping and the killing of Comrade Bega Makakul. Until his name is cleared, we cannot have him as part of the government of national unity. We will not have President Mlungisi Makhanya. He will not be part of the government of national unity. Mlungisi Makhanya will not be part of the government of national unity. Stella Mgomedulu will not be part of the government of national unity. Wandile Dludlu, Velaphi Mamba, Zweli Martin, Bheki Mabuza, Maqede's brother. Bonke labo, they will not, Sibongiseni Mkhabela, or Letinja Tamlungisi Makhanya will not be part of the government of national unity. But any other organization that wants the liberation of the Swazi people will be part of the government of national unity. So what's the purpose of the government of national unity? The purpose of the government of national unity is to be a leading structure in the liberation of the country. Our liberation will not come about as a result of one organization outstanding all the others single-handedly and by default remove, which it's not going to happen that one party will remove Makhosetive. So we will not be competing. Our liberation will be due to a united effort. We need to move forward as a nation, lead by a united, inclusive government of national unity. So what are the activities of the government of national unity? As a representative of the grassroots organization, which all have an equal voice, everybody will have an equal voice in the government of national unity. The structure will be the sole representative of the nation. It must be the following. It must also include the following: coordinate liberation campaigns in the country and outside of the country. As you have seen in South Africa, Swazis were able to have a meeting in South Africa because King Mswati does not want Swazis to come together and pray for their own liberation. So the GNU will also appeal to the international community for support as a legal representative of the Swazi people. And it will also negotiate on behalf of the Swazi people, on behalf of you. Once the ruling regime is collapsed by a lot of work that we need to put in as a government of national unity, then the government of national unity will change and become the transitional government and be tasked in preparing for the new constitution and organizing the first free and fair election. Okay, so we've got examples like South Africa. South Africa's got a government of national unity, and Myanmar has also a unity government. So imagine, I just want to leave you with this last imagination. Imagine the government of national unity, Eswatini, calls and has an appointment with the government of national unity in South Africa. So we've got two government of national unities from different countries coming together to see and to discuss and find a way of how can they work with us and what is it that they can do. I know that the leadership in South Africa is corrupt. We've got Ramaphosa and the ANC, but we need to be serious. We need to form a government of national unity so we can be able to liberate ourselves. It is the way forward. There are many ways that we can get liberation, but we think, as a Free Swazi movement, we think this is one of the best ways. We know other parties want to elect a prime minister with executive powers. That's not a problem, but we think if we form the government of national unity first, then we'll be able to have an elected prime minister with executive powers. Thank you so much for listening to. Please do comment, read, research, and if you have any questions,